Rocky, I expect you to follow. Good luck to both of you. Let's have a good fight.
Can you recall a fighter having a question at this point, Bertie?
No, I've never heard a referee ask each fighter if they hate each other.
As you check out the tail of the tape, 2-inch height advantage for Cruz over Lockridge. The referee, Spider Bynum, scoring on the 10-point must system. We're scheduled for 10. The judges, Ronnie Ralston from Houston, Bob Martin of Houston, Lefty Barrera from Corpus Christi. Rocky Lockridge, usually a slow starter, except for that first-round KO of Roger Mayweather back in 1984. And Rocky sporting a new look. He attempted to give himself a haircut.
Yes, the head of the razor broke. He had to go to a barber and get it all shaved off. And then he found out he didn't have to make the weight because he'd lost about 2 pounds worth of hair. Rocky is not starting off slow in this fight. He's putting on some meaningful punches.
He did say earlier he was going for the quick ending.
Let's go on and do this. Let's go.
This should be a grueling bout if it lasts. A lot of infighting between Cruz and Lockridge.
Both men scoring well to the body.
Opening up in the same fashion as John Molina and Lupe Suarez. They were banking away for 4 straight rounds.
And again, a lefty who should be moving around, and Rocky standing right in front of him. There's no motion, there are no angles. There's just 2 guys wailing away.
And Lockridge has faced a number of left-handers. Most notable, Cornelius Bolza Edwards, who he beat. So he says no problem when confronted about the question of going against the southpaw Cruz, but the other problem is Cruz and his awkward style. Very difficult to look good against Cruz.
Certainly Rocky has started much faster than we are used to seeing him start.
Just under a minute to go in this first round. Cruz did get the left hand in.
Cruz is awkward. Just when it looks like he's just taking punishment and doesn't know how to come back, he comes back from odd angles and he lands pretty well on Rocky.
Coming up on 15 seconds to go in this first round.
Let go of him, Dennis. Let go. Don't hold him.
We'll be back here in Corpus Christi, Texas, with the second round after this. George Benton and Lou Duva telling Rocky Lockridge that Dennis Cruz can't be hit with uppercuts and then come back with the left hand. This is round 2. Scoring on the 10-point must system. The 3 knockdown rule is in effect. There's no standing 8. There is a mandatory 8 count.
Both of you are holding. Don't hold.
Dennis very content to fight inside. They're banging heads a lot inside. You would think that Cruz would be moving around, trying to use that awkward southpaw style to confuse Rocky Lockridge.
Most impressive win for Dennis Cruz was back in early January when he stopped the one-time Olympian Jackie Beard in the 7th round. As an amateur, Jackie Beard beat Rocky Lockridge, but you can throw that away. Here we are many years later.
It's a curious thing that neither of these men are throwing very hard punches. They're sort of half-speed punches just trying to locate each other.
And the crowd not into it as they were about an hour ago when hometown favorite Lupe Suarez stopped previously unbeaten John Molina in the 9th round. That bout seen on our NBC Sports Ringside program.
Now this bout looks like it's about half speed compared to that bout, which you'd have to go all the way back to a Collins-LaPaglia fight that we had on an NBC fight, to see that kind of sustained action by two youngsters who just went 100% all the time.
And later on, we'll be showing you last week's Las Vegas championship bout between Evander Holyfield and Ricky Parkey. A stunning knockout by Holyfield in round 3. We'll also take a look at that wild decision of the Ozzy Ocasio White Muhammad Qawi fight. Ranked by the fight doctor as one of the worst of all time.
Maybe the worst of all time. Rocky controlling the tempo of this fight. Dennis content with his back to the ropes, taking a little hammering, although the punches don't seem to have any zip in them, which is unusual since this is the second round. There was a first good, really hard right hand thrown by Rocky.
Cruz also appeared to get in a low blow off that last flurry. This is scheduled for 10. Final seconds, second round. And we'll be back with Rocky Lockridge. And Dennis Cruz, Rocky Lockridge was told in his corner, cut out the pity pat, start throwing punches.
It's unusual to see Rocky just going at half speed, unless he just wants to change up and catch him by surprise, but Duva doesn't want to see that. Lou Duva in the corner said, cut out the pity pat and let me see the home runs. In the meantime, in the other corner, Cruz was told, don't let him fight his fight. Show some motion. He's just doing nothing but what we trained for.
Combination landed by Lockridge. We've seen Dennis Cruz earlier in his career when he appeared to have more mobility. This is 2 knee operations later, and it's not the same guy, although he has had some good outings, particularly the win over Jackie Beer.
That's a good point. 2 knee operations does tend to slow you down. You certainly don't float like a butterfly. On the other hand, it shouldn't immobilize you like a statue. This guy doesn't move away from the ropes. All to his disadvantage. I have Rocky sweeping both those first 2 rounds because he controlled the fight and because he's punching many more punches and more effectively.
Cruz has battled injuries, and that restricted him to only 1 fight in 1985, only 1 in 86. But this is 3rd fight of this year. Prior to the injuries, he's been very active. In fact, appeared to be on the verge of a world ranking 2 years ago.
Cruz is not punching with great authority either. I don't know what's happened to both these fighters. Neither one seem to be throwing earnest punches, just sort of feel them out punches.
To go in this 3rd round. Left hand by Lockridge. That was the best punch of the bout. And he landed a right. And he has Cruz backing up.
That left hook actually stunned Cruz. Cruz fell back fighting into the ropes, but he's been hammered by rights and lefts. It's just that there doesn't seem to be any fire in Rocky Lockridge. He doesn't seem to take advantage of that and go after it. A lot of low blows going on here, folks. Cruz has landed some thudding low blows, and so has Rocky.
But the referee, Spider Bynum, has not reacted to that last flurry of low blows. Sharp right hand scored by Lockridge. Final seconds, 3rd round. And this is round 4. Pat Versailles telling Dennis Cruz, stay off the ropes.
He's right there. He spent the first 3 rounds on the ropes, lost all 3 rounds, and got hammered for his trouble. Should be some movement. He should try to seek the angles that would land the punches on Rocky, who doesn't seem razor sharp himself.
Rocky Lockridge took some criticism in his loss to Julio Cesar Chavez for throwing punches at half speed. We did see some acceleration in the third round, but Rocky also not impressive at the start of the fight. And now, able to land the combination on Cruz, so continues to pick it up after the slow start.
6 or 7 strong unanswered points, punches. Cruz just doesn't seem to move away from danger. He just stays transfixed.
What do you have on the scorecard?
I have a sweep. Rocky Lockridge unofficially ahead, 30-27, meaning he's won the first 3 rounds. Unless Dennis is looking for that one lucky punch that's going to turn this around. I can't see what he's doing on the ropes. Neither can his corner. He's been instructed to stay off those ropes, yet he goes right back to him.
Don't hold him, David.
Lockridge, the one-time WBA junior lightweight champion, made his first outing in that division. A memorable one with that unanimous 10-round decision over former champion Cornelius Boza Edwards back in September of '80. Rocky had been going as a featherweight since turning pro at 78. He had those close bouts with Eusebio Pedrosa for the featherweight title, losing controversial decisions to the champion Pedrosa, won by split decision. And his 5 losses also include the defeat by Julio Cesar Chavez, another a stunning loss because of the questionable decision when he went up against Wilfredo Gomez in San Juan. And he was knocked out in the second round by Juan Laporte.
Well, another day in the mines for Rocky Lockridge. It looks like he's just mining coal. He's just right there, punching away. Cruz does not seem to have an idea as how to get away from the ropes.
That is it for round 4. Rocky Lockridge with a meaningful right hand and then the uppercut that stunned Dennis Cruz.
Dennis Cruz has spent all 4 rounds in that position. Start of round 5. See if he's figured out any way to get off the rope. So far, if he does this, he's on the way to a boring loss.
With the fight doctor, Ferdy Pacheco, I'm Marv Albert from the Memorial Coliseum, downtown Corpus Christi, Texas. Later on, we will show you the Evander Holyfield 3rd round TKO of Ricky Parkey. It took place 9 days ago in Las Vegas. And time permitting, we'll be talking with both Vinny Pazienza and Greg Haugen as they prepare for their IBF title fight in 2 weeks here on NBC. That'll take place in Pazienza territory, Providence, Rhode Island. Referee Spider Bynum. Minute gone by, 5th round.
At the very least, Dennis Cruz has kept the action off the ropes, and he's doing all right as long as he stays outside. They've been telling him to jab. Problem is, he doesn't have much of a jab. But at the very least, it's disconcerting Rocky Lockridge. He's not able to just tee off as he was on the ropes.
And we hear the boos from the crowd because of the lack of action.
I think probably it's unspectacular action. They are fighting. I mean, both people are going at it. It's just there's nothing impressive going on, and probably following that dynamic 9-rounder that we saw, it just doesn't seem like the action is that exciting. However, both men are giving it what they've got. There's no dog in either one.
Yes, this is not exactly quite Muhammad Qawi and Ozzy Ocasio.
Nothing is that.
Because they are both landing. And in the early about. There was rooting interest in that. Lupe Suarez is from Corpus Christi, very popular fighter in this area, and he was able to stop the previously unbeaten John Molina in the 9th round. People were questioning why Angelo Dundee wasn't here with Suarez, but he was in Vegas taking care of Piglon Thomas, who's preparing for Mike Tyson. No truth to the report that Dundee is actually at the Pontiac Silverdome working with Larry Bird off yesterday's session with Bill Lambier. We'll be back with round 6 after this. For round 6, meeting up with Dennis Cruz. Lockridge told in his corner, don't worry about the booze, just go out, do your thing.
Well, I think pathetically enough, both men are doing the best they can. And that may be a commentary on the state of their careers right now. Because, frankly, Rocky Lockridge doesn't look sharp enough to be fighting for the title off a fight of this nature. And certainly Dennis Cruz doesn't look like a title contender when he can't figure out how to get off the ropes and use his boxing skill against a man that's winning every round, pinning him to the ropes.
And that is the goal of both boxers. The WBC junior lightweight champ is Julio Cesar Chavez, who beat Lockridge 2 fights back. The WBA champion is Brian Mitchell of South Africa. The IBF title holder, Barry Michaels of Australia. Good exchange.
For the first time, Cruz was able to land short, chopping hooks, which took Rocky by surprise and knocked him off balance.
Referee Spider Bynum just told both Lockridge and Cruz to keep the blows up. They're having a number of low blows, nothing damaging. Easy for me to say.
Well, I tell you, this keeps up, even Spider Bynum's going to start going. It's a one-way fight. It's Rocky chopping away on the ropes. Dennis Cruz not able to spin away and fight his fight. I keep thinking that he's just waiting to sucker him in because he has got that punch that can put you out. Very low blow on the part of Cruz.
Good right hand by Lockridge. Combination by Lockridge.
It's not so much that Cruz is going to the ropes as he is being driven to the ropes and pinned there by Rocky Lockridge, and that's why he's winning this fight handily. It's his objective. He is accomplishing it, and why change anything?
And the booing continues as we conclude round 6. The would-be Suarez knockout of John Molina earlier in the day. And coming up here on Sports World later on, a look at last week's impressive knockout by Olympian Evander Holyfield, the WBA junior heavyweight champion who stopped the IBF champ Ricky Parkey in the 3rd round. It was last week in Las Vegas. We'll also take a look at that controversial Ozzy Ocasio decision over the great Muhammad Tawi as Cruz hits the canvas.
He's not getting up.
And that is it. Off the combination. Rocky Lockridge has stopped Dennis Cruz, who is hurt.
Short punches. The first thrown with a great deal of authority by Rocky flipped him right on the chin. Dennis Cruz. Now watch these sharp punches. That was the one that had him on the way, and that's the one that finished him. And it's 2 right hands right to the jaw and